Hello, everyone. Good evening.
Hello.
Hello everyone, Gorak will join in 5 minutes.
त्यो त्यो कसरी थाहा हुन्छ देवी?
Hello everyone. Can you hear me? Ready?
Hello, Gorak. Good morning. Yes, Gorak.
Yeah, good morning everyone. Really sorry everyone. So for this delay, I just reached, so couldn't inform you either. So thank you for waiting for me as well. So let's start everybody. It's already been few minutes. So let's start our session. We will resume our TypeScript application where we continued working with the project. We will finish that project maybe within 1 or 2 days, and then we will move to the Redux part. Redux is quite most popular state management library in React. We need to do a small project in there as well. Yeah, let's dive into our existing project. So do you want to ask me something before starting this session?
I have a question with my code. I have one error and I don't know how to get rid of it.
Yeah, sure, Alan. What was
Okay,
the
let
error?
me share. 1 second. It's this part. I went back to the recording and I changed this part,
Okay.
but it's still showing as an error here.
So can you hover over there? Let's see what was the message. Um, can you hover over
Yeah,
the checkbox?
yeah.
It says label is missing in type but required in type. Okay. You are inside here. That is React TypeScript. So can you go inside that label checkbox component? Where is it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. So what happened here is you are accepting something here that is label on line number 3
Uh-huh.
inside that parenthesis, but you are not passing, I think, from your app.tsx. Let's go inside app.tsx.
Mm-hmm.
Here you are not passing that label
Oh, the
from,
label.
yeah, right there. Give it a space and write label and give it a value.
Like that?
Yeah, like that. You can give it some string value because you are accepting string here. In double or single quote, you can pass some value and it will work.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
So in TypeScript, if we are accepting something, then we need to pass, otherwise it will provide error. Otherwise,
I
if
see.
you don't want to accept, then you shouldn't write something in that parenthesis. You need to remove it from there.
Okay. So, but this is good though.
Yeah, this is good now.
Okay. Thank you.
So let me see on my screen. Actually, I lost some of the commits while I was committing this code. I think you got the commits only today. So I was looking, let me open this one. I was looking at the commit inside React TypeScript, but I lost some of them here. I don't see now. That's why what I'll do is remove it and clone that project. And I will start that React TypeScript project once again from start. As well as we have pending feedback app. Um, I hope, I think I lost some comments there as well. I hope you are working on there. We will actually continue rest of the part which are remaining there. Only the context part is remaining. To actually, I think only the CRUD operation, some of the operation regarding put operation, patch operation is remaining. We will finish it. But today we are going to continue that React TypeScript project. So what I'm going to do now is I'll remove that folder entirely and load it from GitHub. So let me delete this one. Going to once again create this folder here. Open this one with VS Code, and now I'm going to open that repository in GitHub. This is the one. So I have committed some of the messages here, but from this added context provider, we lost some of the comments, I think. But you can watch the video and continue. Maybe you can create a pull request here. So you can create a pull request to just open this one. Just give me a second. Yeah, what I was saying is you can create a pull request to just create that missing part or complete that missing part in feedback app. So I can see your pull request here. If you can add some functionality like CROD operation here successfully, then create a pull request and I will merge your pull request so that others can also get some idea from your code. But today, let's create that React TypeScript folder once again and continue our project. Okay, I'm going to first clone this project from GitHub because we don't have the code now. Is that to go here first? I think I lost this. Sometimes it appears and reappears. Okay. Let's copy this one and then I'm going to do git clone paste and on the same directory as before. So here we will create another folder that is React TypeScript. And you know how we can install React? What are the way to install React environment while we are working with React? Until now, we can either do with create React app, right? Or with Vite. But with Vite, it is easy and minimal and lightweight as well. So we don't need to install around 700 to 800 dependencies with that we were doing with create React app. That's why we will choose Vite. Let me go to React TypeScript folder first. And here we will use Vite, yarn create Vite to install our React environment inside this folder, this one. So I don't want to create any soft folder there. That's why I dot here. And now these are the, you can just look at them for some time. For example, Vue is another popular, but not that much scalable than of React. Vue is actually another front-end UI library framework. Actually, it is a framework for front-end development similar to React. Nowadays, Svelte is most popular. I'm also working on this tech since few months. So 2 weeks ago, I think the major version of SvelteKit is actually stable version 1 of SvelteKit is released. You can sometimes look at them. But we'll choose React. We are working on React. React is until now by far the top trending front-end UI library. So let's go inside React and let's install dependencies using yarn. I'm redoing these things. We have already done this one, right? We are doing it once again from start. Okay, if you have the code, then you can continue from there. We will reach there and continue. Okay, then we have some, let me commit this one. So I will commit now for each and every code that I'm writing so that I will not lose any of them. So TypeScript project, you can say. Or if you want to write better commits, for example, you can see sometimes you may have already worked on this one. Some of you who are already working somewhere, writing better commits. What you can do is, let me reverse this one. In Mac, actually, I need to reverse this all the time when I'm using this. Okay, so to write better commits, we will follow this convention most of the time. In the organization, they have the reserved keywords like feed, fix, some of them. And we will use this keyword to do commits. For example, feed is written when we want to introduce a new feature. Fix is written when we have a bug fix in our code. So fit is written, we will write fit in our commit message when we are introducing new feature, right? So yeah, here you can see many name and their descriptions as well. So we'll write the name before the commit message, and then after this name we'll write some message. You can see some example here, like this one, fix and colon and fix foo to enable bar. So in this way, we'll write commit now. So currently, you can see here which one we can choose. So you can write feat because we are introducing new feature that is a TypeScript project. So here, before this message name, init TypeScript project. Okay, this is the way I'll write message. You can just go and read this blog sometimes, why we need to write commits in that way, why these ways are conventional styling of writing commits. You can see some of the other way as well, but that is just for the information. You can you may have seen these standards are followed in some of the development themes that we are working. Okay, so let's go. I have committed it. Let me go and refactor this project. I don't want this assets. I don't want this one as well. I don't want this one as well. I'll go here and remove everything and RFCE, or I can write RFCE as well. CE as well for React function, arrow function. I think this is only needed to clean up. I have my index.html. This is main.jsx connected with index.html and app.jsx rendered inside main.jsx. So once again, let me commit it. The commit is I will factor the code. So clean CL code, you can say. Now let's go inside. Let's go and install one dependency that is called style component. You know why we need a style component in our project? Why are we using style component? Last time we installed it, right? Why do we need it?
For CSS?
Yeah, for CSS, to write CSS in better ways, we need style components package. That's what I am going to
Upgrade
install.
from CSS module, right?
Right, correct. Yeah. So that's why we need it. Let's go here. And so before installing something now, let me go and deploy this somewhere. Deploy this folder only. Now we'll create a project and deploy it. so that we can see the output, or you can also see the output in some URL. We can use Vercel or Firebase. These are the most popular options to easily deploy our application. So Vercel is actually most easiest. We can also deploy in Firebase. Maybe we can see that sometimes later. It is slightly less easier than Vercel. So we'll choose Vercel for now. Maybe later we can deploy it in Firebase or other project in Firebase. We'll deploy this one to Vercel. You know how to deploy our application to Vercel? Can you guide me? What should I do?
Open Vercel and
Okay, so let me go here and open Vercel. Vercel, Vercel. So you need to log into Vercel, right?
yes.
First, if you don't have your account, then just logged in with GitHub. You can try as well, or sign up with GitHub. So once you are logged in, you will see some dashboard, something like this. These are just my test projects, or some of them are also created for some bootcamp, previous bootcamp. You can click here on add new and click on this project. So now you can select your repository. I will select this FDB4 for now. You can create just something like this. Yeah, React TypeScript card. Here I have this repo. You can create something like this, the separate repo, and import it. But I will import this FDB4 that we were working on. And now here what I'm going to do is select the root directory. That is, I'm going to select this folder now. Okay, so you can write your name, project name. This is actually so let me add take your name, and I'll add cart. So I think it will work. Cart, this one. So you can choose your any name here. Okay. Later, maybe if you have domain, then you can link your domain here as well. So it is now doing something here, like installing the dependency. It will install. It is like a simple CI pipeline that I told you previously. Something is wrong here. So yarn run build actually not working. It has some error. Couldn't resolve index.css. Okay, we have some issue as well. We didn't fix it, and I just pushed it. So I didn't run it to see the output. Let me see first. So I think I need to park everything first, run it here. So what happened there is instead, when I put this on the right and this one on the left, or not this one. Let me have it here and the VS Code on the left, this one. Actually, there was error in our project. So we need to do something here inside main.csx. We don't have index.css now. We need to remove this part because we cannot import file which is not there. Now it is working. So this is app here. Once again, I need to push this code. So and if you see in Vercel, so if you see here in Vercel, what will happen is it will rebuild. Let me go here, this one. It will rebuild this code once I push this to GitHub. So I have fixed something about fix, and what we did is removed unused import from our main.tsx. So It hasn't linked, but let's see what happened. Will it be able to start? Yeah, you can see here now it is once again starting the building process because I committed on GitHub. So, okay, nothing is shown here. Let's see the build log. And it says ready. Okay, we have some output here. I think it is working. You can actually go to this URL, take your cart.versal.app, and this is now showing our application here on the live URL. Okay, we can sometimes see what our projects looks like in our live URL here. This is a simple CI pipeline that we created with Versal. Okay, maybe you can just try it. Let me know if you have some issue. Okay, how many of you are doing together with me today, everyone? So that I need to wait some time, right, for you. Otherwise, I'll continue on my own. So can you just raise your hand? How many of you are doing together with me? Okay, great.
Gaurav, I tried to connect with Verso and it's not connecting there.
Maybe, yeah, let's see. Yeah, thank you so much, guys. You can raise down your hand. Yeah, it's great if you can work together with me. Yeah, can you share your screen so that I can see what happened there?
Okay, I'll try. So this is this is the this is not the new one that we have been doing previously. So today I'm just trying to connect with Verso, and this account is from my GitHub account, and it's going on and on and on.
Okay, yeah.
I try to commit once again here. Okay, where is it? Um, but it's not coming again.
Pius, can you go to your Vercel? I think connection is not established to your GitHub account here. Yeah, it says almost there. Did you try refreshing this window? Can you
Yeah, I
refresh it?
tried.
Okay, can you click on that drop down arrow after select a Git name? Yeah, click on add GitHub account.
And then yeah, it's showing nothing here also, blank.
What happened actually? This is the issue
Is
with
it
Vercel.
because of the pop-up blocker extension?
Oh, do you have such extension? Maybe.
Ah,
Yeah, maybe
yeah,
that may.
I have this one. Okay, let me claim it for now.
Yeah, let's try it once again.
Still not coming. Add account.
Yeah, yeah, just okay. Do you have other browsers so that you can open? Maybe this is the issue in your browser.
So let me okay, let me um
Oh, pop-up is blocked. Yeah. So can you click on that cross sign, red cross sign? Click there and click on always allow pop-up. Yeah, done. Okay, let's see. All right, it is working now, I think. Yeah, scroll down and accept the Vercel is trying to actually read some of the content from your GitHub account. You can give access to some repository or you can give access to all the repository. It is fine.
so
Yeah,
I just do install.
click install. Yeah.
Oh. Okay, I'll try from here then.
Yeah, I think it will
Yeah.
work now this time.
Yeah. All right. Thank you.
Yeah, anybody else having issue deploying your application in Vercel? Yeah, if you are raising your hand, then you can just ask me, unmute yourself and ask me.
Asis Vinod.
Yeah, I think it is the hand raised from previous question, maybe. Vinod, do you have some issue? Do you want to ask me something?
No, I just fixed it, so I'm fine. Thank you.
So, I think I'm sharing my screen here. So let's go to our setup, and yeah, you can always go to checkyourcar.vercel.app from your device, and you'll see what we are doing there. When I push the code in GitHub, okay. Otherwise, you cannot see it when I have local changes. Okay, we successfully established a connection with Vercel. This is a really simple, minimal CI/CD pipeline, you can say, where we continuously deploy our application when we commit to GitHub from our local local repository that we are building in VS Code here. So I'm going to install that package now. First one is a style component because we need it, or we need it because we want to have some style to our application. Okay, so what we can do is write yarn add. So our packages are here. You can see dependencies. We are going to install the dependency. Once I hit enter, I think I need to first go inside that React TypeScript repository, because if I do it here, it will not install it inside React TypeScript. So I need to type yarn add styled components. So you will see one extra dependency added here. Here now style component is added. So together with the style components, we need to install something else. If you remember, what do we need to install? Another package. We did it previously.
TypeScript style component.
Yeah, the TypeScript support for this style component that we just installed, right? You can already see here the TypeScript support is for React is installed here. TypeScript support for React DOM is installed here. So to install some package for TypeScript support, you can see sometimes here TypeScript. You can just write support for style component, something like that. So yeah, you can just see here. If sometimes some of the packages are already including TypeScript in themselves, so you don't have to install it. But you can see here we need to install some dependencies. First one is style components that you can see, and another one is style components and types to support TypeScript. Here it has added this D flag. Do you know why? Why that D flag is there? -D. Can you guess? Yeah, but I think I missed something here with the current setup itself, guys. Do you know what is that I missed here while setting up React TypeScript project?
It's JSX. It's TSX, not JSX.
To do TSX there, right? I did GSX, so we need to go to TSX. So previously I showed you how you can create a TypeScript project. We did something else, right? Let me try to run that in some test folder here. This is just a test folder. I'll delete it. So let me go there. We have some issue here. Actually, we should do something more. We haven't actually created TypeScript project. This is a JavaScript project. So to create a TypeScript project, yarn create read, right? What was the command actually? Yarn. Oh, I think I missed this. I'll go there, I think. Yarn create read. Okay. So somewhere here, while I am selecting React, I need to select this TypeScript. I think I missed this step. I selected JavaScript. So we need to do TypeScript project here. So it means this is not a TypeScript project. This is a JavaScript project. So later we will see how we can add TypeScript support for the existing project. I think it will create some confusion right now if I try to add TypeScript here by installing directly TypeScript. That's why I'll leave this folder. Okay, I'll redo once again. So I'm going to redo once again. So this is not a React TypeScript. This is actually React JavaScript. So the whole thing that I did is not correct. I need to do once again. Sorry for that, guys. I missed that step and I need to do it once again. So I'm repeating this step. Yeah, maybe you can follow me once again. Otherwise, you can just start resume from there if you already have a TypeScript project. So here it is a React TypeScript. Maybe we can delete this one for now. Okay, we don't need it. So that it will create some confusion for us. Delete this one. This one is the React TypeScript. I'll once again establish a connection with Vercel because this is no longer there, right? Maybe we need to delete that from Vercel as well. So let me go to React TypeScript. Where am I right now? I am outside. Okay, so I'm in the trash now. That folder no longer exists there. Let me kill all of the terminal from here and go to React TypeScript. Create read. And I'm doing the same thing once again. Am I inside React TypeScript folder already? Okay. So I need to select React, and this is TypeScript because we are doing things with TypeScript now. So I will once again install the dependencies here. And once the dependencies are installed, we will clean up something there. And I should go to Vercel once again. So let me open Vercel from here. I'm going to delete this one. I will once again establish connection here. Somewhere I may have some option to, yeah, I think in settings. Setting, I think this is the setting for, yeah, right here, I think. URL visit. I just want to delete this one that I no longer need it. This one actually. So maybe somewhere like manage or something like that. This is the setting for whole project. Not able to find from where I can delete this project, current project. Maybe from here, right? Copy URL. Not sure. If you can find from where I can delete, so let me know, guys, so that I can delete it. Let me put this back here. So let me work here for now. Yeah, now this is the TypeScript setup. So I need to delete it. I didn't realize that I started a JavaScript project there. So yeah, with TypeScript setup, you have this additional file called d.ts file and tsconfig.json file and tsconfig.node.json file. These are the additional file with your TypeScript setup. Okay, I need to remove it once again. And I will once again start it in development server. So is it working? Okay, something is wrong here. Here, oh, I need to remove some code from app.css and write RAFCE. Okay, it should work now. Now it is working. And I will once again deploy it here. So let me install that package once again. I have cleaned up the project. Let me install that style component. I need to go to React TypeScript all the time and write yarn add style components. Style components is added. It should be here now. Here is the style component. And yeah, previously we are not seeing TypeScript there because TypeScript is needed for our TypeScript project. Now we have TypeScript support for React, TypeScript support for React DOM. Now we'll add TypeScript support for our style component. To do so, you need to install another dependency, that is @types / styled component. Oh, I just forgot something there. I'll redo. So now what happened is I'm installing this. So I was asking you a question, why these types are here inside dev dependencies. So I forgot to add a D flag here. So these are here inside dependencies. Dependencies and sub dependencies are two properties, JSON properties inside package.json file. Because we will add only those packages inside dependencies if they are needed after the compilation, means if they are needed in the production. But some of the packages are needed, not needed while you are seeing output on the browser. In simple language, you can say, while you are seeing output in the browser, you don't need some of the packages like this package that are here. So these are needed while you are developing your application. It means TypeScript is just needed in development. Browser will not understand TypeScript. You need to compile it so that browser can understand. That's why TypeScript is like a support provider for your existing project. It is constantly looking at your code and it is providing you a direction. So where should you go? What should you do? It is just providing you some instruction, watching you all the time. So correcting you all the time while you are writing your code, only while you are writing your code, not while you are running your code. Okay, so that's why we will install those packages which are there that will help us while we are writing your code inside their dependencies, not inside dependencies. So TypeScript is only needed for development. That's why those packages which are only needed for development, we'll put it inside here. So React DOM style components are actually needed while you are running your code, while you are seeing output. That's why we'll put inside dependencies. So I need to grab it from here and put it here. I can do it in two ways. I can directly cut it and paste it here, but you can just remove it like you installed it. Just add and remove, and it should be removed from here. Now let me install it once again. Yarn add @types / style components. Now I can have double hyphen D or single hyphen capital D. Okay, if you add this dev flag here, they will be installed inside dev dependencies, or this package will be listed inside dev dependencies after the installation is completed. Yeah, you can see we have style components here in the dev dependencies now. Okay, so now you know which packages are of what type. Those packages which are here, you can say I'm seeing everything here listed are packages. So those packages that you can see, or you can call them dependencies, those dependencies that you can see here installed, which are directly inside dependencies, they are actually needed by your React application when it is running. Okay, so those dependencies which are listed inside this dev dependencies right here, these are the packages, you can say. These are the codes that are needed while you are writing your code on the development. So they will not be used while compiling your project and while you are seeing output on the browser. All right. Any question to my current statement? So you should be familiar with package.json now. Package.json is nothing but simple JSON file. In there, we have different properties, JSON properties, like one of them is name, another one is private. This is required if you want to publish your project or repository somewhere in NPM or some repo or your library hosting platform like YARN-PKG or npm.js. So if you want to make them private, this is required. Not required for your day-to-day projects. Maybe you can remove it from here. And the version, yeah, this is the version of your application. You can just write 0.0.1, something like that. So type module is required because currently we are using everything. The ES module is used everywhere. Like ES module is actually import export that you are using here. That's why type module is written here. These are the common one you will see in every project, but these are also the common one. Three of the other JSON properties that you can see here. One of them is scripts, and one is dependencies, and the one is dev dependencies. The scripts is there where you can see your scripts that you can run. Currently, we are only using this dev scripts. Let me remove this all here. So we are only using dev. And dependencies, we shouldn't remove it because these are the dependencies that we are using in our application. Dev dependencies, we shouldn't remove it because these are also related to connected to these dependencies, because this dependency here is directly connected to React. It is a type support for React. This one is connected to React DOM, is a type support for React DOM. This one here is connected to style components, type support for style component. And this one here is actually connected to our React environment itself, the Vite. So it is providing support for our current project so that we can run and see here. And TypeScript is required in our entire project setup, current project setup, because our application is using TypeScript setup. That's why it is required. You don't need to delete it. Vite is also required to with the current setup, with our current environment setup, and that we are running our React application with Vite. Okay. Is that fine, guys, until now? Are you confused with something that I explained here? Do you have some questions? Yeah, you can ask me any questions if you have. Okay, just let me know. Or should we move ahead? Yeah, is everything fine? Ankit, is everything fine from your side? Maybe Vishal, Ganesh, Vinod, do you have some questions for me? Yeah.
What are the two dependencies you install? Can you repeat that again for me, please?
Yeah.
One was like a style component, and the other one was.
Other one was this one. @types / style components. Yeah, this is just a support for style components. So you need to type @types / style components to install this dependency. Okay, I installed it. You can see here on the terminal. What I did is, let me go. I typed this command, to install that another dependency. So I added this $dev at the end so that we can list our dependencies which are only required in the development in here. That's why style components is inside dev dependencies. So yeah, you need to type two separate commands. The first one is yarn add style component, maybe here. Yeah, first one is this command, yarn add style components. And the second one is this command. This is yarn add style components _dev. Right?
Okay, thank you.
So let me see if Versal can actually see my changes with the current setup. Just a second, guys. Okay, this is in Versal now. Let's see. Let me push this one. So this is actually a feature with TypeScript setup. New TypeScript environment setup, you can see. So let me see if Versal is able to see the changes. I'm not sure it will build or not. Yeah, it is building, I think. Yeah, it is taking my commit. This is just a commit that I hit from my VS Code. I think it is fine. I don't need to delete Versal. So yeah, the code is also going to, let me see. Let me open that repo. Just a second. Open this repo here as well. Yeah, I can see React TypeScript here, and it has this code TypeScript setup. And yeah, you can track these commits. Previous two commits are not TypeScript project. This is a JavaScript project until here. Now we have TypeScript setup. And you can see this tick mark because it is deploying in the real time. Okay? You can see, for example, if I write something inside app.jsx like checking parcel deployment, something like this. And if I save it now, I'll go to, I need to push it as well to GitHub. I'll do add commit and push with a single command, cmp. So this is just a test. Okay, you can see the factor or something like this. First thing, Versal. Let me hit this commit and I'll go to GitHub now. And you'll see something will come here. I think I need to refresh it. Let me see. Okay. I think the commit is not gone. They are going to GitHub, but the pipeline is not running, I think. Oh, it is already completed. It's really fast actually. So it Versal is deployed. Otherwise, later we'll see if when our application grows, we'll see some building process there in GitHub as well. Here, some building in progress instead of this tick mark. And right now you can see everything is coming into our URL here. That is takeyourcard.versal.app. You can see our real output on this URL. You can go there anytime and see the output when I push this code to GitHub. All right, so let's move and set up our theme once again. We missed some, actually, we don't have some of the code that we wrote previously. So once again, we need to set up the style components. Let me see. Yeah. So with style components, we have installed this package. So let's go and use it. Inside src, let me have a folder called style. And inside this style, let me have a folder called, let me have a file called theme.ts for TypeScript. And I'll write some TypeScript code here, but you can also write JavaScript in TypeScript, right? Because that is TypeScript is just a superset of JavaScript. So let's have some theme. Previously, we actually provided initial colors, breakpoints, and we actually exported it from here. Let me do it once again. Const colors. And this is the object. And we will have primary. One is the primary and another one is the secondary. For now, let me have a blue color here. And another one with, later we'll remove and use actual hex code. Great. So this is throwing some error because we haven't exported it from here. We'll do it. First, let me make, this is colors. Let's have breakpoints here. And we will have three mode. One is the desktop mode. Desktop mode is maybe you can say maybe 1366 or 1024 instead. 1024 pixel for desktop mode. From here, desktop mode will start. So for tablet, we will have a screen resolution of 768 pixels. From here, the tablet mode will start. And for mobile, we will initialize it with a screen resolution of 480 pixel. So here, this is the mobile mode. So when it hits the limit, actually, when it hits the limit, this limit, the desktop mode will start, this limit tablet mode, this limit mobile mode. We'll see it when we are building our application. We'll use this desktop, tablet, and mobile there. So these are the three modes. And yeah, you know what is this pixel, guys? Do you have some understanding about pixel? I'm writing pixel here. We all the time have pixel because we are seeing this screen currently because of the pixels glowing up in my screen. That's why I can see it. Can you guess how many pixels are there from in your laptop? Maybe not in mine, in your laptop, from left to right, from here all the way to here. How many pixels will be there from left to right? Can you just guess? In each digital devices screens, we will have a pixel. We'll have some pixels. Do you have some idea how many pixels may I have from left to right here on the screen, or from top to bottom?
It depends upon the devices.
Yeah, right. So can you guess how many? Maybe 10, 20, or 100,000, 10,000? Can you just give me a range?
Average laptop will have more than 1400 pixels.
So 1400 means it's a large number. It means we are going in
For-
desktop mode.
For SD, like it's 1920 by 1080.
Right. Yeah. So depends on the device. Currently, I'm using this 2K monitor, this secondary monitor that you are seeing here. This is a 2K monitor, but I'm actually reducing the screen resolution to full HD, that is 1920 by 1080. So when you hear the term called resolution, there you will see pixel. So what is the resolution of this device means how many pixels are used here in this device. So currently, as you are seeing my screen, from left to right, I have 1920 pixels. And from top to bottom, I have 1080 pixels. So this is called resolution. So you'll see resolutions are written in format like 1920 by 1080. So this is the pixel. It means currently from left to right, I have 1920 pixels glowing. Okay, you can see sometimes in Chrome as well. For example, let me open this one. If you right click and inspect, this source, right click and inspect here, you can see, let me make this smaller. You can see my pixels are now, currently I am at 1920, the on the horizontal direction, right? 1920 in the horizontal direction. Now I am shrinking it. Now you can see my pixels are decreasing. Until here, I have around 1750 pixels until here. So yeah, in this way we have pixels from left to right. So if your device is this much smaller, then you have only 500 pixels. Means we are now going, currently we are in the mobile screen, right? So yeah, if your screen reaches here, maybe you can say This is like a tablet mode. So depending upon the width of your screen or the pixel that are used in your screen, more precisely, you can say which mode you are in currently. If you are in desktop mode or tablet mode or mobile mode. You can see here as well in Chrome, there is a device toggler, and you can just switch over some of the popular Pixel devices or some of the popular devices, like iPhone SE here. iPhone SE is using this 375 by 667. That is the vertical. 375 is the horizontal. And yeah, you can sometimes look what are the pixels used in some of the popular devices sometimes. Okay, and here we have iPad. This is like a tablet, and here you can see 768 pixel on the horizontal direction. Okay, yeah, we can do anything like limit desktop mode until this pixel only, limit tablet mode until this pixel only, limit mobile mode. Means from 0 to 400 pixel, 480 pixel, you will have a mobile mode. From 481 to 768 pixel, you will have a tablet mode. From 768 to or 769 to 1024 pixel, you will have a desktop mode. Okay, that's why we are setting up here. This is for responsiveness actually, because depending upon the different devices that you have in your daily life, your application may look something slightly different. Maybe some navigations menu are not dear to adjust in, cannot adjust in your mobile screen, so that you can do some extra design. This is actually called responsive design. You will design mainly in this three modes that are desktop, tablet, and mobile. So depending upon keeping this three in your design, you will design your application usually most of the time. So let's have a theme here and export it from here. So let's put this two colors and breakpoint inside theme object. We are creating new object called theme, where I'm placing these colors and breakpoints. And now I'll export it from here. You can just write export, or if you want to export this inside another object, you can write export theme as well. This is the convention that you will see in the current project. So I'll try to mostly use the current setup most of the time, so that you can see the code in the existing application and come back here and see in the application that we are creating ourselves as well. The same application, where we grab it previously from. We went to GitHub source site, GitHub platform/source, and there we source for TypeScript, React TypeScript, something like this. Let me source directly for TypeScript card for now, because I know TypeScript card is there. TypeScript card. So this one is the application that we are doing ourselves. This is the final application. Yeah, this one is the demo, right? We are building this application right now. So this here, you can see it here, see it and run it. You can see the code as well. You can see we are currently doing this. Maybe inside comments, we have this style. We are currently here. We are currently starting from here. We are doing this currently. Yeah, you can see I wrote this code. I created a theme and I exported it here. Okay, we don't have TypeScript support yet, but we'll add it. I'm starting from here. Now I will continue this one. And first we'll complete the styling part and we'll provide it. This is the final code that you can sometimes see. And the final output is also there. This is the final output that we are trying to build from this current project. All right. Do you have any questions? Okay, then, so theme is exported. But let's have some TypeScript support here, because we don't have any TypeScript support yet. You can see currently, what do we mean by TypeScript support? I mean, what should this primary be? Currently, primary and secondary can only be string. So TypeScript has already actually inferred the type itself. I previously told you TypeScript can infer some of the type itself. So it has inferred the type. It can now, you can see the primary is a string, secondary is string. So here as well, the primary is, sorry, these three are string here because of this mode. And later, if you want to put number inside desktop or somewhere here, it will not work. TypeScript will throw you some error. Or what you can also do is create an interface yourself. Create interface. So before creating interface, we can create type ourselves. Like we can write type, like some type. So some type. Usually these are written in capital letters starting here. Types. So let's have a small object. Currently we have this object. Let's have another test object. Let's say new object, something like that. And here name is, let's say, Alex, and country is, or let's have different type here, is 31. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to write type of new object. So when I hover over here now, you can see the type are name is a string and age is a number. I can now know the type of new object with this type of keyword, but TypeScript already inferred it. You can just hover over here and see the type, name and age, right? So yeah, or maybe, okay, so maybe let's uh, uh, maybe let's have one interface. Let's create an interface for this object. Interface is like providing type. Okay, so some, currently I'm going to write, this is just example. Okay, I'll later move it from here. Some test interface here. So I'm going to type it now. I just knew that the type is name is Alex and age is 31. But if I don't know the type here, I need to type it using this keyword called interface. Here I write name and the type of name, that is string, and age, type of age, that is number. So now if I hover over here, currently I'm not seeing the output, but you can see here name is a string, age is a number. Okay, so if you want to know the key here, what are the type of this key, what you can do is, let me have another const. So type of keys, and what I can do is use another TypeScript keyword. Previously I used type of in the object. Now I'll use type in the interface. So type here and some interface. Let me write this one here. Okay. Oh, not type actually. This is we cannot use type keyword here. Type of will be used on only on object. I will use key of now. Let's see. Let's see what happens here. So I'm trying to find key of this type, and this should not be variable now. This should be type, similar to this one. Now, when I hover over this key of now, currently I'm not seeing the output there. But let me now try to. What do you think? What will be the type here inside key of type? We don't have any idea because we cannot see the preview here. Let's try to assign this type. This is a type actually. Let's try to assign this type to some value. So const, let's say, let's have a simple name here. So test name, and the value is ABC, something like this. Now I'm going to supply it a type of keys type here, and it is not working. So we cannot provide this value here. Okay, it has some type error. So ABC is not assignable to type this one, some interface. Actually, yeah, it says some error here, not assignable. Key of some interface means to this type. So actually, this is key means this key, name and age. So the type should be either name or age. So let me try to write name here. Okay, it is working. So can I write age as well? So last name like this and age. Okay, it is working, but we cannot add the type other than this these two keywords that we are grabbing it from here, like any, something like this. I cannot write anything here, anything other than name and age. So we have some type guard here. We have actually received this only two type in the type of keys. Means now you can have some variable. What I'm trying to say here is, until now it is making some confusing. This is slightly complex here. So what I'm trying to say at the end is, you can have some variable, right? My name, something like that, and you can provide it a type called some interface. And now what value can you add here? What value, what name can you write here? So maybe maybe this is let's say Alex. Alex is a string. So what name can you write here? You cannot write any name here. For example, let me write my name. It is not working. So I cannot write any random string now. I need to write the exact string coming from here. So that is Alex. And at that time only it should work. So still not working. We have some issue here. String is not assignable. Yeah, it is not assignable because issue there, right? I think I removed this key of somewhere. Did I remove that key of? I don't have that. I didn't have that key of. Some interface is here, but I need to get that. Okay, go back. Yeah, this one. So what I'm trying to say at the end is, if I have my name here, now I cannot write any name. For example, I try to write this name and provide this. Currently I can, but if I provide this type here, this type here, I cannot. I need to exactly write the name that is listed here currently. There is no Alex. If I have Alex here, then it should work. So this is actually TypeScript in depth. So why I'm doing this? Because I want to actually type these two. I always should have primary and secondary. I cannot have any other name here. This should be an object where I will only have two keywords called primary and secondary. And the value should always be string. So I need to say this to TypeScript. Hey, there is a color object whose properties are always primary and secondary. You cannot write anything else. Okay, you cannot write some random name here. Currently, it is working, right? We can write it. But what I will say to TypeScript is, hey, there I will have the colors object whose property are always going to be primary and secondary. So for that, I need to provide TypeScript this information. For that, I need to type this first. So how can I type it? Let's see. This is just an example. Let's implement it here. So once again, I can make the interface. So you can say, so theme interface, something like this. Theme interface. And I just want to type this. So colors and breakpoints, both of them. So let me do colors first. Can I write colors? Let me first do it. Can I write colors, and inside colors is an object. So I write here primary. Primary is actually blue. So this is not a value. Here I'll give a type information string. Primary is a string, and secondary is also string. So because TypeScript already knows this, right? I don't have to go there and write primary and secondary string because it inferred the type itself. But what I can do here now is have color dot random equals to some random value here. So here, what is happening is now property random doesn't exist on type primary and secondary string. So I'm not able to add some property here because TypeScript already inferred that this is an object which will have two property. They are primary and secondary, and they are actually string. So what I can do now here is access that primary from there and add another string. It is working, but if I try to add this number, it will not work once again because here it is inferred or we have already given the value is a string. But most of the time, this is not that much feasible. What if you don't know the value? What if you don't know the type of the value here, whether they are a string or number? Then you need to annotate it yourself. If you don't know the value, then you need to annotate. If you know the value, then you don't need to do it here. If you don't know what is the value here, then you need to annotate it here. So instead of writing it here, so what if you have a lot of properties? Let's say 10 properties in color subject. You cannot write 10 properties here, right? And this is not feasible as well to write 10 properties. So instead, we'll follow the pattern that is widely used in TypeScript, that colors is an object. So every property will have a value of a string. Every property here in the object, if they are 10, then all of them will have the type string. Actually, the value may be anything, but the type is a string. And on the left, let's say what are the name of the properties here. So if you don't know the value, then we'll use key of. So previously I used key of. Now I use key of and type of together. So here I'm using this array syntax to represent all of the property. This is just a pattern which is used to type all of the object properties here. But key of, type of, colors. So I want to know each and every, for each and every key, I want to know the type. So key of, type of, colors. And this is each and every key. So I write key in here. So this is like for loop. If you know for in, for off loop, that is actually a loop where you can write, you go to app.js just to show you, where you can write for of reason, and you can write anything here, let e in. So if you have an array here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and you can just print e here. You go in the console, and not printing anything to me. Printing anything. Checking Vercel is working here. So this is an array. It is working actually. Yes. Oh, I'm in the final URL. This will not work there. I need to go in the local one. Yeah, now you can see here. What is this key actually? The key is whatever the value I have here, like for example, hi or hello. This is coming from JavaScript, but their key are 0, 1, 0, 1. It is rendering twice because of that strict mode. Okay. If you are confused, then you can just go and disable this strict mode for now. Maybe we can talk about it later. So you can see the key are printed here. The key of hi is 0. Key means the index. Okay, key of for object, the key means the property. Here the key is the index number 0 because this is an array, and index number 1 printed here. Similarly, we are using that property here. I'm writing key in, so key of type of colors. So it means colors will be primary and secondary only. Now you can see here primary and secondary. So we don't know what are how many properties are there, right? We cannot manually write there. Maybe you may have some added properties here. So added colors. You don't have to list it here all the time when they are added. This operation will automatically inspect or know what are the properties used in these colors. So this will inspect all of these properties. All of these properties should be string. This is how we are typing it now. So now finally we need to provide this information to our I told you we need to write breakpoints here as well. Later we'll provide this information to our theme. So let's go and do breakpoints as well. Now this is really simple. Breakpoints, if you know the one pattern, then you can replicate to all of the other objects as well. So now this is for breakpoints. Right? So now the breakpoints are, you can see here, desktop, tablet, and mobile. So if you now add any other field here, they will be automatically listed here. Now this is the interface. This is interface means we have two properties, colors and breakpoint. Here we have also two properties. So this is for this theme object actually. Let's apply this information to theme object. Okay. So this completed the TypeScript and JavaScript, both of these in a single file. So what we did is the part that I am highlighting right now, this one, and this one is only TypeScript. If you remove this part, from here, from your application, now there is no TypeScript support. Something is inferred by TypeScript itself, but we are not writing TypeScript ourselves here at least. This is a plain JavaScript. This is what you can write in your React project without TypeScript. But if you have a TypeScript project, then we'll add these things, these two things. All right, so is TypeScript slightly complex right now to you guys? What do you think? Is it becoming slightly complex?
Yes.
Yeah, don't worry. These are some difficult properties that we wrote here, but TypeScript is not that much complex. We'll write TypeScript in simple way. But main thing you need to understand is how can you annotate any types?
So Gorak, yeah, line number 2 and 3 is like annotation, right? It is an annotation.
Line number
2 and 3.
Oh, 2 and 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you write interface, then you are annotating. So
Okay.
annotating object most of the time. Yeah, this is for object literals. And this is now we are annotating colors. Here we are annotating breakpoints. We can do the same thing in other way. Let me try to show you. What you can do is const. So most of the time in real world, we write I for interface, I color. So I color means for color, for annotating color. I can write primary and string. And okay, something is wrong there. This is not const. This is interface keyword for typing something. And secondary as well as string. Now instead of writing this, let me go and have this provide this information to colors, and let me create another interface for breakpoints so that I don't need this one. Another interface for breakpoints. Let me copy this one. For breakpoints, I can write I breakpoints, and I will give information to this for these three properties that I have. You can just copy and paste it here, but they are not separated with comma in interface. They'll be separated with semicolon. And desktop will not have value in while we are typing something. Okay, we will have type. This is a string. This is a string, means string written in this way, and this is a string as well, and this is a string as well. Now I can provide this information too. Most of the time while you are learning or while you are building simple project, you will type your objects in this way. Now you understand what are we doing here?
Yes. Yeah.
What do you think? What is the disadvantage of doing this?
Yes.
Sometimes,
If there's like too many objects,
yeah,
you'll have to manually type it in all the time.
correct. Yeah. If you have another property, am I writing it in? Just let me know. Correct typo here. So let's say, for example, if I have some another color added here, and now it is not working here. So it says, hey, you cannot do this because you previously mentioned that eye color that you are listing here will only hold primary and secondary. Now you are adding another property here. You need to list the same property here once again. This is the disadvantage that we have. I need to list it once again here. So this is not that much reusable. Or not general. That's why, instead of doing this, what we are doing is writing those 2 lines of code, which will type all of the properties that are coming here, all of the properties that are coming here. So let me go back. Maybe I can I or not? I don't know. Go back to previous setup where we used this. We wrote only single interface name where we typed color and breakpoints with a single line of code. So for all of the properties, sometimes there is a disadvantage of writing this one as well. If you know the initial state, if you know the initial value, if you know they are not going to change, then you can follow the previous one by creating interface yourself for each and every object. But if you don't know the value for these colors, properties for this color, but they are all because colors means you cannot write number here, right? 1, 2, 3, you cannot write it. So colors should always be string. That's why we know the type, but we don't know what are the color name. That's why we are annotating the color names here. So it will know itself, but we know the type. That's why we are typing type ourselves. Okay. Is this fine for now? Yeah. Anybody? Any confusion or question until now? Okay, then this is fine. We have supplied this. We have exported this theme from here. Now let's go and create other files there as well, like global CSS. Let's set up the global CSS as well, and then we'll add a provider. We already did it last time, right? But we didn't type last time. I think we didn't do this one. So let's create another file called. We'll have 2 more files. One style components. Another one is global CSS that you can see on the final one as well. Style components dot this is a TypeScript file actually. That's why style components.ts. So in style components, what I will do is import something from style components. I'll import everything now. You can, if you want to import everything from a package, you'll write import everything. This is like everything. We're importing everything. So we need to name it. Otherwise, we cannot write asterisks only there. So everything as, let's say, styled components, because we are grabbing it from style components. So this is like renaming. Okay, we are accepting everything and we are calling it style components. From where? From style components. So we are accepting everything. Everything means later what we can do is destructure, because style components is providing you a lot. For example, what you can do is destructure. So this is object actually. This is object. We'll put it on the right side. we'll do object structuring here. What we'll do is this one, and we'll accept. Let me write random. Random here. Now it is not working. Hey, random is not provided by style component. You cannot accept it because we need to write exact same property name for object structuring, right? We cannot write any other name which are not there inside object. So it said random is declared, but its value never used. That's one error. This is just a warning. But error is here. Property random doesn't exist on type of this. So you cannot accept any name here. We need to accept the name which are provided. For example, CSS is provided from style components. Now I can write CSS here. So others are like theme provider that we used previously. Theme provider is also coming from style component. This is a type support actually, type support for theme. And others like the first one is default. It is by default provided. So you can write any name for default value. Like most of the time we'll write style for default, CSS, theme provider. These are all coming from style components. And we also have keyframes also coming from style components. Also, we have create global style. You can see how VS Code is providing you the suggestion because we have a type support. So if you write create, then it will provide you the name, create global styles. So these are coming from style components that we accepted. Either we can do this way, or we can do like just write import and directly restructure here what you need. If you just need CSS, just write CSS from style components. You can also do this one, this line of code. But let's say you want to actually accept multiple name. So at that time, you can also write it in comma here as well. But later we will type it. That's why you cannot type it here on the import statements. That's why we'll type it here. That's why we are first accepting everything, now destructuring here. But you can accept individual thing in this way as well. Okay, this is an import convention. So what we want to do now here is so we have something called theme module coming from style component. Let me search for that one. Style module, I think. Module from components. Let me add. This is the TypeScript support for style components. That may be source for. I think I'm not getting it wrong. Most of the time, you better to go in the style components official documentation. These are the third-party blocks. Maybe you can see or not there, but inside style components, you'll definitely see what you need in their documentation if you go here. So or better to write what you exactly need, like style components accept. So let me go here. I think all of the API references are here. So what I'm trying to accept now is theme style component module, something like this. I need to search it there, but maybe if I can find it here. No, okay, let me write it myself here. So what I'm trying to do is type this style components. So what is this style components? This style components will actually hold. This will be. So in TypeScript, what you can do is, let me show you one example here, then we'll type it. What we can write is const arr 1, 2, 3. So now at the end, you can write as something like as const. So later, if you want to write arr dot push 10 here, you cannot do that because these are now, this is constant already, but this is now making, this is like read only constant. You cannot write it here. So you can say, what is the type, added type? This is a constant, const type. So you can do similar here as well as. So maybe I will have, yeah, this one, theme style components module. This one is coming from style components. So yeah, style components. You can either do this or you can just grab it. You can do is, what we are doing is typing something. So let me import it for this one. This one should be coming from style component once again. This is a TypeScript. Whenever you are seeing these capital letters, these are coming from @types package actually from style components. This is the TypeScript support. So this will now accept 1 or 2 arguments. So that arguments will be whatever the theme we have here, whatever the type of the theme. This is the theme interface, right? So let me export this theme interface. And I will add this theme interface here. Theme interface. Now what we are trying to say here is, hey, our application is using style components, and that style components will use the theme that we have actually declared here. And that type of the theme is whatever the types applied here. So the theme interface is coming from here. Theme interface means it will have color and breakpoint. Color will be primary and secondary. Breakpoint will be desktop, tablet, and mobile application. So that's why we are supplying these to theme style components module. This is a TypeScript support for style components to set up a theme. So essentially we are telling our application that, hey, we are using TypeScript, which is having colors and breakpoints, and their properties will be primary and secondary for colors. Breakpoints will be desktop, tablet, and mobile. We are providing this information from here. So until now, so if you do not write this line and do not write this line, then this is JavaScript. So now if you add these 2 lines here, this is TypeScript. So we are providing support for TypeScript. Later we'll see how these are useful. We'll directly write some colors, then it will provide all the properties there while we are writing our code. Colors are primary, secondary. It will provide this suggestion, and it will provide type validation as well. Currently, we are just setting up the project, so we cannot see it right now. But when we are writing our code, we'll see some of the errors or suggestions provided by our project, because TypeScript is installed there, and we can know, we cannot mistakenly type something else that are written here, something other than the properties that are written here, so that we can know the error right away when we are writing our code. So yeah, we have this style coming, CSS, theme provider, keyframes, and create global style. Let me export each and every, because we need it at the end. First one is CSS. We need to pass theme provider. This is the default one. When you import, then style will be imported. That's why let me pass other things here. Theme provider and keyframes, because we will use it essentially from we are just exporting it here. This is like a named export. We can, if you want to export a default one, then you can just write a default export as well. Export. We have 2 different export here. Later we will deal with the situation when we have multiple default export from a single folder. Within different file, we have default for each and every file. Then from our index.html, we'll rename those default and export from there. We'll have more pattern later we'll introduce. But until now, we have 2 files, theme and style components, from where we are just exporting the CSS that we need. We are exporting theme. Now we are exporting something coming from style components. Those things are CSS, theme provider, keyframes, create global styles. You can see here, as well as styled. And we have said that, hey, use our theme. That's why we are writing it here, this line of code. Hey, style components, please use this theme that we have written here. That's why we are providing the information about our theme.
Guru, can you please wait at the theme? I I missed there. Can you show the theme that yes?
This one, right? Yeah, do you have some confusion? Want to ask something? Okay, let me push this code as well. Then we have set up what we did until now. We have style components and set up theme and style components. So let's push it on. So we initially created a theme file. Later we created style components to let know that style components what theme we are using. Now let's use we have exported all of them. If you go here, we have exported style components. We have created our own style components version. We have exported theme provider is here, and keyframe is here. Create global style. All of them are here. Now let's go inside our main.tsx, and I told you previously, when you are seeing the capital letter, most of the time TypeScript support. For sometimes they may also be component. This is a component that we want now here to wrap this application. So if you know what strict mode is doing, right now it is rendering twice. You only need to know, but later we'll see strict mode is actually required in React application to check something twice. So now you can enable strict mode and you can wrap this application app with that theme provider you have. So let me write theme provider. This is coming from style forward/style components, our style components version. And let me wrap this app with this. Previously, I accepted this theme provider from style component itself, I think. Now we are using this style components from style components here. We have imported it and we have exported it. That's all. It needs value prop, and value should be theme. And that theme is coming from style once again. So I think this is theme, not value, right? Theme. So theme and the value is theme once again. So we have provided this theme to entire our application. But you know how we can provide global theme, global CSS with style components? Do you remember what we did last time? Previously with React, we have something called index.css, a simple file where we can throw all of our CSS code and it will be the global, right? Correct? But here, what we will do is we will use a global styling from style components and apply it to our entire application. So I think I have committed this one, apply theme provider. Let me commit this one as well. Hey guys, do you need some break? Sorry, I didn't ask you. Let me know, okay? Should we go in break for a few minutes? What do you think? Then resume? Or we can continue?
Let's take a break.
Oh, okay. Okay, let me post this one and let's take a break. Yeah, sometimes if I forget, just remind me, okay? So that we can take quick break in between. Theme provider for app. So for our app actually. So we have provided this theme. After break, we will create global styling here. And finally, we'll create a context. So we are setting up something here. We are not using any of them right now. We are setting up a theme. We'll now set up a global CSS and we'll set up context. Then we'll start to write actual implementation of our code that we'll start seeing on the browser. Yeah, let's take a break. Maybe around 5 to 10 minutes. Then we'll continue this session. Okay.
Okay, okay.
Hello.
Hi, I think our time is already up. I didn't realize that. So then, can we resume now?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, just a second. Okay, so I think I haven't shared my screen to that. Here, I'm using a syntax in TypeScript right here, which is this lesser than greater than. In between, I'm writing something. This is like you can make an analogy to function in React or JavaScript. Will pass some argument to function, right? So this is the same thing as well. We are passing some arguments to TypeScript here. So this is like a reusable piece of code or interface. This interface is accepting something, you can say. You can say this is like a function accepting something. So this is called generics in TypeScript. So generics means we are creating something reusable. Sometimes we can pass like this theme interface, which have different value, sometimes different value depending upon our need. So let me go here and show you what is TypeScript generics first. And let me go here. This is like a function you can see here, right? It is accepting something and returning something. And while we are actually calling that function, we are calling it in this way. So let's copy this code and let's see what is happening here. Maybe we can remove it and put it somewhere here. Let's go inside app.tsx. I will paste this code here. This is simply a function, JavaScript function. If you do not have this line of code here, and if you do not have this line of code here, this is a simple JavaScript function, right? Later we will add TypeScript in there, but currently this is a simple JavaScript function. What are these v1 and v2? I think I removed this part as well. I need to remove only this one. And the v1 is just a parameter which is accepted here. v2 is just another parameter which is accepted here. Let me remove this part here as well. Okay, now I have some error here, right? Implicitly has any profs. Okay, let me write one in our TypeScript configuration. If you do not have the properties supplied here, you can click here as well. Infer parameter types from usage. Okay, let's not do this. In TypeScript, let me write allow implicit any. Just forget what is the property there. Allow implicit any. And search for this tsconfig. We need to actually write allow implicit any true. Should be there actually. How disallow? How to disallow? Let's go there. We'll see something there. Yeah, no implicit any. I need to write no implicit any here. Implicit any. And let's make this one to false. Something is wrong here. No implicit any is going to be false. What is happening? Did I miss something here? Maybe, I think I'm missing something definitely. This is false. No implicit any should be false. Okay. I'm not seeing what I missed here. Let me go back and we'll know what we need to do. Already, okay. Let me add one string here. No implicit any. This is no implicit any. This should be false now. Okay, should work now. Now I shouldn't have that error. So it is having 3 dots here. It is actually saying you that, hey, you are accepting something, but you are not typing it. Because why should we type? We can call our function at any time, right? So how can it know what is the type of v1 and v2? That's why we need to type it here. But we are writing allow implicit any to false. So it means the error will be gone, but it will still show you some 3 dots like this, in this way. Sorry, some 3 dots in this way. If you have this in true, you will have error here. So you will need to manually write any here. So this type can be anything. We're writing anything. So if you know the type, for example, we are passing a string there, right? So we'll write a string there. String, and if you know the type, we are passing number here. So if you know we will always pass a number, then we'll write number here. But what will happen if you now try to reuse this function once again? Let me reuse this function and pass something else. So this is just essentially returning an array having v1 and v2 as their elements. But if I have numbers here as a first element as well, then it will provide me error. Why is it throwing error here in line number 6?
Because it's v1 is only accepting string when you're passing a number.
Yeah, I'm passing number. It is accepting a string. That is what TypeScript generic, their TypeScript generic will help us. So sometimes we want to accept when we are passing something from a function. Then we want to type it. So what we will do at that time is we'll not write this string or number ourselves because we don't know, right? Instead, what we will write is, hey, I don't know what this string and what this type of v1 and v2. Then I will call them some random keyword like s and t here. That's why we'll write TypeScript generic syntax here now. So that string and number will be now s and t. This is just a convention. You can write anything here, okay? Any name here. So most of the time you will see t. If they are two, s, t, these names are written. So s will be this one now. String will be s and number will be t. Okay. So now we know. Now this is not known initially. We will know it when we are creating a function because we will know it eventually when we are creating a function, right? When you are now creating this function on line number 5, you know what is the type of this s, right? It is a string. What is the type of t? It is a number, right? So now we can supply the information from here. We can supply the information. Hey, that s should be a string and that t should be a number. All right. Are you getting it? So we are creating a reusable function here where for this function call, we have this s string and t number. Now you cannot pass a string here as well. Because we say we just told TypeScript that, hey, the second parameter that argument that I'm passing from here, this one that you are receiving here should be a number. This is the number now. So can you tell me how can we type a function? How can we type a return value from a function? How can we type that return value? What I'm saying is currently the return value is array here, right? You can see from here. But how we can tell from TypeScript, hey, the return value is always going to be an array. How can we say that? So type function will have two things, right? Input and output. We type the input here. We type the input. These are the inputs, right? v1 and v2. We typed input. v1 will be s, v2 will be t, and s and t will be coming from here. Means v1 will be string, v2 will be number. We type the input. So where is the output? How can we type the output from the function? We need to say the output is an array containing only two uh, 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 elements. They are v1 and v2, and v1 should be of type S, v2 should be of type T. Otherwise, we can return anything from here, right? Write anything. We can return anything, right? It is not throwing any error now. It is working. But you may have a function where you want to return exactly an array having v1 and v2 elements. At that time, it should throw error if you try to return anything else.
I think we should create a interface with for function app and have it only return a array.
Yeah, if you have an interface, then where should I put that interface? So we are typing a function. We type the input right in this way. So if you want to type output of a function, then you will write here after this parenthesis. So I'll write a string here. This function can only return a string now. It is throwing error now. Hey, you are returning an array. You can only return a string. So now this is my random string, right? This is a string. There is no error, right? Now I can return a string. So I need to type it here. So what should I write there? If I want to return this v1 and v2, what should I write here instead of string?
Array.
Yeah, this should be an array. And is it sufficient? Can it have any array with any number of elements?
Needs to have two values.
Exactly two. And those two elements should be of type. What is the type of v1?
S and T. Yes.
S and T. Yeah, you need to write S and T here as well. So S and T. Now you can return only two elements whose types are S and T. You cannot return any other elements whose types are not S and T. Let me try to do it, okay? Let me try to return 10 and 20 from here. Now I cannot do this because the type of this S, which is 10, is not a string, right? Let me make it a string. Okay, so now what is happening here? Can you see? Something is wrong, right? I'm supplying this string, but it says string is not assignable to type S. So what is this type S then? This type S, this is a string, right? But what is happening here? So you want to know this is always going to be a string. It is not related to S now. If you have number here, then how will you make sure that this is a number? At that time, you need to actually take the type which is coming from here. The type which is coming from here is S is actually related with V1. That's why you need to have some relation with V1 here. That's why if you write V1, then we have a relation here. V1 will always be coming from whatever type we are supplying from here. So this should be a string and this will be a string now. So I cannot write statically something there because that will be there all the time, irrespective of what you are passing here. That's why you need to have some relation established here. V1 and V1, this is of type S. That's why you can write V1 here. So if I write V2 here, now this is of type T. Now this is strongly typed now. Okay. So if you have this function return, now if you try to pass, if you try to use this function now, for example, let's see. Let's use this function in simple way, create peer, and let's pass 10 and 20. Now this 10 will become this S will be of type. What will be the type of S now? Sorry, what will be the type of V1 now? We are not passing any information from here, right? While we are calling a function. But can it infer? If I place it in some variable like const result. What will be the type of, now we have 3 questions. What will be the type of result? What will be the type of that v1 and v2? Right? What will come in the result? Is it a string? Is it a number? Or is it an output?
Numbers.
First,
Yes, 10
But
and
I-
20.
yeah,
Because
the
we're
type
not,
of
yeah, we're not defining what S and T really is. Like we're not passing like if it's a string or if S is a string or T is a number. We're just like giving a value to it. So I think it's going to take a value for 10 and 20.
and 20, and then result will be, what will be the
10
type of result?
10 and 20.
10 and 20 means, is it a number or the type is a
Numbers.
number?
Numbers, like both numbers, I guess.
No, we don't have numbers
I
type, right? We
think
have number type, string type.
result will be array.
Result will be an array. Yeah,
Sorry.
because we are returning array from here, right? And that array will contain number. But
Content
type
numbers, yeah,
is,
that's what I mean.
but can it infer? What do you think? Can it infer the type from whatever we are passing here? 10. It can take 10, and 10 will be v1. And what will be s then at this point? It can infer, right? We are passing a value. So the value is of type number. So s may be of type number. v2, we have the value 20, and 20 is of type number. That's why t is of type. T is replaced by number there. And result that you are seeing here, can you see here? What is this? Number and number. Because here, this is of type S and this is of type T, right? V1 is of type S here, and V2 is of type T. So we are seeing V1 and V2. If you hover over here, you can see V1 is of type number. This is the TypeScript information, okay? This is the type. This is the type that you can see here, not your value. This V1 is of type number, V2 is of type number. So it is inferring that I told you previously. Most of the time, if it can infer, then you don't have to type it. You can either do this, you can either write this line of code, or what you can also do is add some information yourself. Okay, now I'm telling you explicitly myself that the first element is number, the second element is also number. Right? This is the same thing. So if you hover over here, once again, this is of type number and number. But if it can infer, then you don't have to pass it. If you don't know the value, for example, if you have something like first number and like second number, you don't know the value, and this first number is coming from some database, second number is also coming from somewhere else. Then you don't know the value, right? Here, then you will initialize it with you may have some default value which is accepted, but you can also pass some default value which is initialized somewhere above, maybe in React state. But you don't know because you are not passing the exact value. What I'm trying to say is you may have some state, right? Use state, and the initial value is less than number or less than null. And let's accept this first number here. First number and set first number, right? We don't need set first number for now. And second number here. Okay. Now what happens? When I hover over result now, null and null. This is not what we want. We don't want to return null here. We don't want to do that. Because finally we'll pass some value. Initially they are null. Initially they are null. You can say undefined as well if you remove it from here. If you remove it, and if you remove it from here, that will be undefined. If you hover over result now, undefined and undefined. But this is not the type that we want to have at the end from a function. So in that case, especially, we will pass the information ourselves. Hey, this first number is going to be a number. The second number is also going to be a number. Initially, that can be undefined here. So initially that can be undefined, but later it will be a number. So I can either have undefined or have number here. Now we will write this union operator. So the first number can be undefined or number. Initially it will be undefined, later it will be number. Second number, it will also pass the same information. Now in result, number or undefined. We can do some extra check here, right? We can do something like so if, right, type of let's say if this type of v1 is not equals to undefined, let's check that type, and type of v2 is also not equals to undefined, then only return. Not equals to undefined, then only return this v1 and v2 from here. So now we have some problem here. Function lacks ending return. We don't have any return here. Return. So we are not returning anything from here. Let's return 0. So what is happening here?
V2?
Where? Here?
On line 8?
On line... Oh, yeah.
V1, yeah.
Yeah, this one. Yeah, thank you. So here what happens? So we are returning something which is not assignable to type S or T. Let's try to return empty. It will not also work, because we are returning S or T here. We need to have some union operator here as well. So else we'll return 0 if we say. Then if I have 0 here, I can either have this array returned or 0 returned. If I hover over result now, that result can be, you can see here, 0, and it is saying number or undefined. We can have any of this output. But we are type checking here. If you are reached here, then you don't have undefined. You will have exactly what you are accepting. Otherwise, you will return 0. Yeah, in this way, we will create reusable functions with TypeScript support. And TypeScript support is also reusable here. This is called generics in TypeScript. Okay, so most of the time you'll see here. And this is the inbuilt generics that we used previously. When you go to style components, and here I pass this theme interface. I'm doing nothing, but this is already defined somewhere. This is already available in style components. You can see here. This is the generics. It is coming from this node_module somewhere. Like it is coming from this index.d.ts file that we do not have currently. It is inside node_modules. If you go inside types, there you have style components. There you have index.d.ts. This is coming from here actually. So it is the TypeScript support. So this is the generics actually, which is written there, and it says it is now acting like a generics. It is accepting T and U. So it is doing those things behind the scene for us. But what we are doing here is we are passing the information of our theme. So that information is coming from where? It is coming from our theme itself. And this is the interface that we are passing there. So what we are saying is, hey, we are using colors and breakpoint, and that color will be primary and secondary, and that value will be string. All of them will have a string. Colors will have some property. All of them will have a string. Breakpoints will have some property. All of them will have a string. That is the information we are supplying from here. Okay, this is the syntax which is coming from that TypeScript generics. We can create sometimes our own TypeScript generics. You will see while you are working, when you are working somewhere, you'll see such kind of code a lot of time, TypeScript generics that you want to create yourself as well. But you need to deal with something which are already created. For example, this is the generics which is already created in this theme style components module interface, which is already written in TypeScript for style component support. But sometimes you want to deal with your own generics, and it will create in this way as well. The other most popular generics which is already defined is use state hook, right? Let me remove this one, or I can do it here as well. Use state hook here. So use state hook. I don't know what is this number, right? So this is undefined currently. But do you think, guys, we can accept set number as well, right? Sorry, set first number. And let me go inside use effect hook and try to let me import use effect hook and try to update the state from here. Let me have empty dependency for now. I'm trying to update the state for this first number. So what do you think? Can I pass number here while updating the state? Can I pass number 10? Previously with React, with JavaScript only, we can do that, right? We are setting the first number. We are setting with the value. Maybe that value is coming from API. We'll fetch the API here, right? Right here, we'll fetch the API. And later, whatever the data coming from here, we'll pass, let's say some number is coming from API, then we'll set this first number. Now, watch carefully what will happen here. If I write number 10, it is not working. So why can't I set the first number to be number 10? What is the issue there?
We cannot statically pass a value.
We cannot?
Statically pass a value.
Maybe stored in some variable.
Yes.
Actually, we can pass any value, right? We can pass while we are updating the state. Previously with React only, we can do that. For example, statically means we will have some value eventually coming from somewhere, right? This is the number, let's say. Let's say this number is coming here. And now can I pass number here? Still not working, right? Instead, there is another issue here that we are missing. TypeScript is annotating itself and we don't know it. That's why this issue is coming. We didn't actually TypeScript is inferring itself. We didn't annotate ourselves. That is the issue. What we did is we relied on TypeScript. We actually believed in TypeScript. That's why this issue is coming. TypeScript is doing its job behind the scene, and we are missing that work, that thing that TypeScript has done. What do you think? What is done by TypeScript there? And now we cannot supply anything here. We cannot even pass array here. It will not work. We cannot pass any value. We cannot. What I'm trying to say is we cannot set the first number with any value. Then we cannot initialize the state. We cannot use set first number, right? Do you know what is the issue? Can you just guess? So TypeScript will try to infer the value when it is first initialized or when it is first written. Okay, TypeScript will try to infer the value. This is really important. And we are creating variable first number on line number 4, right? We are creating variable there for the first time. First number was not there before. First number is now created on line number 4. Now tell me what is the value inside first number, or what will be the type of that first number?
Is it undefined?
Yeah, undefined is the value, right? We haven't actually initialized it with any value. If you have not initialized with any value for a variable in JavaScript, then the value will be undefined by default. That is the default behavior in JavaScript. Yeah, the value is undefined. And what is the type? For undefined, we'll have type. Type will be also undefined, right? We saw previously. For undefined value, type will be undefined, right? For null value, type will be object. For number, that for 1, 2, 3, this kind of number, type will be number. For some of your name, like inside single or double quote, type will be string, right? So type is undefined. Previously, I told you we cannot initialize, we cannot use state updating function set first number and pass any value. But that is also not correct. We can still pass one value that is undefined here. Because first number is undefined, right? the type is undefined, and we are passing a value undefined, and the type is undefined. This is matching, right? The first number is having a value undefined, but type is undefined. This is more important. Type is undefined. And we are passing the type, which is also undefined here. That works. But we will not pass undefined, right? This is not real use case. We'll pass some value essentially. We'll pass number 10 here. So what should we do then? If you don't know the syntax, then just tell me what should we do generally. What should we let TypeScript know about something that we are doing here? So here previously I also already showed you this example. Maybe you can see that video once again. So let me tell you once again what is happening here. So we are creating a state, and TypeScript is inferring the type and value itself. The value is JavaScript will also know the value, but TypeScript is inferring the type. The value is undefined and the type is undefined. And TypeScript initially, whatever TypeScript takes initially, it will now be permanent. What I'm trying to say is, it is saying it is taking the first number, the type will be permanent, okay? The first number is of type undefined. Now you cannot pass anything other than undefined from here. So we need to tell TypeScript that, hey TypeScript, I haven't actually passed the value here, and I have created a first number variable, and I will later pass a number into it. So you need to take that number, you need to accept that number. So don't make this first number to be undefined all the time. Don't make this permanent. Accept number as well. So you need to accept both undefined as well as number. So this undefined is already known by TypeScript. So now we need to pass one extra information to TypeScript, because TypeScript will not actually do it itself, right? Unless we tell TypeScript, we need to tell instruction. So we can achieve that with TypeScript generics. Is already built in TypeScript state. So what we'll do here is, hey TypeScript, just accept my string as well. We'll pass, or number as well. We'll pass numbers here. Now it will work. Okay, line number 9 is not having error. So we are saying that this line of code is telling TypeScript that, hey, the first number will be now of type number as well. You are taking undefined initially, that's fine, but also take number when I pass number. But do not take a string. Here, if you try to pass something that is hello, it will throw error here eventually. So you need to say TypeScript that, hey, if you want to pass the string as well, hey, just accept my string as well. Then we'll pass write string here. Now TypeScript will accept your string. All right? Is this making some sense? That's why TypeScript is really important for React project, because TypeScript will prevent you from doing unnecessary thing. Without TypeScript, you can pass anything, right? Almost anything here. You can pass object, you can pass number, you can pass array, you can pass undefined, null. Anything is possible. But with TypeScript, you cannot do that. Now you have actually provided instruction to TypeScript that you want to pass number all the time, then you can only pass number. You cannot pass any other value. Number and undefined. Undefined, why? Because it is initially inferred from here. We haven't passed initial value, right? If you are passing initial value, so say you are passing number 10. Now, when you hover over here, it will only accept number. It will not accept undefined. So initial value is also number, and whatever you are trying to accept is also a number. Now you don't have to actually do this as well. You can remove it, because TypeScript has already inferred that this will be number. Now you can pass any number, right? Because you have initial value number. But if you don't have initial value, then you need to do type annotation. Most of the time, this is the real world case that you will face. You will not have any initial value. Maybe that will be null, right? And you'll accept, you want to accept later number, then you'll say that accept number as well. And you want to actually include that initial value that you have supplied there. All right. Is it becoming too overwhelming for you guys? Whatever discussed here, or at least you are understanding little about TypeScript? Is it make Yeah, sometimes something will be too much when I explain, so I'll try to skip some of the things so that we can focus on the current practical aspect of the conceptual things that we are discussing. Because I have written this syntax here, so I want to discuss about this TypeScript generics. Okay, TypeScript generics is here inbuilt with useState hook. We'll write this code, this syntax all the time. This one especially, this line here. After useState, before parentheses, you will need to write this. If you want to tell TypeScript that, hey, this is my type, you need to accept it. All right. Yeah. So let's go once again here. Let me comment this at least so that you can get this code. And now I can remove it from here. So let's go here. Now let's have some more code there inside styles. Let's have some global styles. Finally, our application will have some styling. So this is, you can say global style dot create style. And we can create a global style from a function which is provided by style components that we have already exported here. You can see create global style. So let me use that one. Create global style. This one, the later one. This is coming from our one. And this create global style is acting, working when you pass backtick here. So instead of writing function here, we pass backtick. This is that template literal syntax actually. Now we'll write some, we have already done this, right? We'll write some CSS here, right? Margin is 0. So where is our application running? Here. Margin is 0. This is not actually used currently. We need to export it from here, right? So let's have this on some variable like global style. And okay, we have create global style. We have some CSS in there. Now let me export it. Let me have the default export default global style. Okay, now how can I use it? So it is not working, right? Because we haven't used it. Global style is exported from here. Now we need to apply global style maybe to our entire application. If you want to apply global styling means globally applicable entirely, right? So we will actually apply that global style here. So we'll import global style here and use it. So let me save it. Even when I save it, then that styling will be used there. Let me see. Yeah, can you see that margin is now removed from there? Previously, without this line of code, we have this margin. Now we have our global style. Now that margin is gone. All right. So yeah, you can have some more code there, right? For example, let me make it slightly bigger. And in the global styling, later we'll add some code if we need. So for example, let's say that we want to use font family, not so much user friendly there. Let me have some CSS. I'll remove it. This is just for test purpose. So if I write body, then if I have this, the auto suggestion will not work inside that template literal syntax. Here you can see auto suggestion, right? For example, font family. So let me use this Apple font family. This is the font family for used by iOS devices. So let me use this font family there as well. Now, if I save it, can you see font is changed? So yeah, delete this one. Font is changed now there. So this is now using this font family. There are a lot of other fonts, system UI, Apple system, These are the fallback ones. If one is not working, other one will work. And with most of the time, most of the time Apple devices will use this WebKit font smoothing that you can see here. Maybe you can add it here or remove it. Yeah, you can just see the effect. Okay? So the font will be smoothen when you add that WebKit font smoothing styling here. That is there in your final code. You can just try and add it here. I think this is fine for now. Maybe we can do it later. So we have successfully used global styling. You can try writing any other things here, right? Background color, something. You will not write formal case notation here. BACK background color. And let me have red color here. Read directly. If I save it now, okay, not working, something. Oh, we need it in the, but it's not working here. Let me, okay. This is the same CSS that you'll write in sometimes in your regular CSS file.
You are using outside of curly braces.
Oh, is it? Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I was trying to see if I missed some type. Yeah, thank you. To use it inside. Now I didn't need to use code ID. It should work. Yeah. So okay. Yeah, what I'm trying to say is you can write some global CSS that will be applicable to your application entirely here. Otherwise, we'll write individual CSS for our individual components. Okay, so yeah, let's stop here for today. Tomorrow we will start creating our components. So we will have some folder. Let me first commit it here. Create global styling. I'm not actually following the commit convention. Maybe this is the feature that we introduced, right? So tomorrow what I will do is add some other folders like components folder and context here. Context, right? We'll have some of our interface in that we'll use throughout the application inside models. We'll create such folder there to have some interface there. And if we need pages, then we'll create a folder called pages. So in this way, we'll create more folders and start building our application. There is nothing for now. We'll start doing these things tomorrow. We'll start from components and context as well. We'll first do context setup and then go into components. All right, then I will stop this here for today. So guys, do you want to ask me something? Let's discuss something before we end this session here. Are you feeling something difficult from today's session? Maybe the TypeScript thing, right? Any difficulties?
TypeScript is a bit complex.
A little bit complex, yeah. Okay. So I think when you start realizing what is happening there, it will start becoming slightly simpler to you. But right now, yeah, I can feel that it is slightly complex because we are introducing some syntax which we don't know what they are doing, right? For example, here in style, initially, we are writing something like this. But if we play around our application later or add some functionality and use these colors in there, when you write colors dot, then you will see primary and secondary there. You can select it. In your JavaScript application, you cannot do that, or that functionality is not there. And if you try to add some other or use some other property which is not here, then TypeScript will throw error immediately. And we can prevent our application from crashing. That's why TypeScript is important. Maybe let's see, let's start implementing it or using these things that we have defined here. And I'll ask you once again, dear, if at that point something is making sense from here or not. Okay. For now, you can just see and try some TypeScript. You can go, I've enabled the resources on the portal as well. And you can go and use basic TypeScript support in your React application. At least you need to be able to type use state hook that I showed you with generics previously, right? In use state hook may have initial value and later you may have another value, and you need to be able to type it. All right, so any other questions?
Yeah, hi Gorak.
Hi, Ganesh.
Yeah, this is Ganesh. My question is slightly off topic. So is there any syntax through which we can like zip our folders? You know, we zip our files.
Yeah, yeah, right.
I'm sorry, I cannot hear you.
Oh, is that your question? How can we zip our file
Yeah,
from
from like using git commands.
Oh, that is not related with Git. You can type other commands. Mostly Unix command will do that. Why do you want to do that actually? Is this any relation with the project setup or something like that?
Oh, actually, the thing is like it's about a different course. I have to submit a project. I have built a like React project, like a simple one. So it's kind of large file, so I cannot send it directly. So the instruction on the course is that if the file is too large, like I have to zip it and then send it.
Oh, I think you can do it directly. Which operating system you are using? Are you using Windows or Mac?
Yeah, I'm using Windows. But the thing is, the folder that I have is not on my computer. I'm using a VS code space.
Okay.
Maybe
Okay.
maybe
So
maybe he included the node models in the file. You can exclude node models so you can have less size.
Uh, yeah, in your setup, I think you don't have access, right? You only have access to that workspace, VS Code workspace, and you want to
yes,
zip it.
exactly.
Maybe try if some Unix commands are supported there. You can search for zip file in Linux or something like that. You will have some command. Try to write that command. Otherwise, just send me some text on the DM or send me instruction, or I'll send you some reference. Maybe that will help. Okay.
Oh, I'll appreciate that. Yeah.
Yeah, you can just search for some of the commands if they are supported only. Otherwise, they may not also work. Then there are some
Okay.
command that you can write if they are supported
Yeah,
on.
like I like Googled some, like I was trying, but since I was attending the session today, like I just thought of asking you. But
Oh,
thank
you
you.
need to, yeah, you need to ask to where you are actually taking that workspace, where you are actually accessing. Maybe they have the proper answer, I think.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. Yeah, that was my question. Thank you.
All right, great. Yeah, guys, anybody else? Do you have any questions? Any other questions? Okay, then let's meet tomorrow to continue this project. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a good day. Good night.
Thank you, Gaurav.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Gaurav. Thank you,
Thank
everyone.
you.
Good night. Thank you.
Thank you. Good night.